Do you have an end of the year closeout process? Well, if you don't, now is a great time to create one. So, whether you close out the end of the physical year or calendar year, whenever your year ends, you want to have a process that you could go through to make sure you are tying up loose ends before going into the next year. Now, if you work with an accountant, a lot of times they have a checklist that they can provide for you. And while finances is a huge part of the end of the year process, you want to take a look at your complete business. You want to take an holistic view. So there's 5 areas that I recommend you look at. It's the same 5 areas that you are going to look at when you are planning and goal setting. So the same ones I take people through for that process, I encourage you to go through for your end of year process. So like I said before, your finances is going to be a huge one, and a lot of times your accountant can give you a checklist to kind of put you in the right direction. The other areas you want to go back and assess and see if there's anything that you can close out is operational excellence. So this is your operations, getting your business to function and run as efficiently and as profitable as possible. So this could be going back and looking at the tools and resources that you're using. Do you still need those? Do they serve the purpose that they were intended to serve? Or is it time to kind of cut them off and move on? Are there processes that need to be updated, added, reviewed? I kind of encourage people, not kind of, I encourage people to do this throughout the year. But at minimum, you at least want to make sure you're going back and taking a look at those so that when you go into the next year, you have up to date, realistic processes. The third area is customer success or customer value. So just going back and taking a look at those testimonials, any feedback you've gotten from your customers and your clients, looking at your delivery times, are there things that you can improve on? Just kind of going back, taking a look at it. Also for me, I try to close out any projects that I'm working on, so I can start the year fresh. So if there's anything there's near completion, I try to get that closed out so that I am ready with new and fresh projects for the next year. Doesn't always work that way because it kind of depends on when someone comes on. So you may or may not be able to do that. But at minimum, going back and assessing, all of the things that are related to your client. And is there anything that you can tie up, like I said, from a loose end, and just doing an assessment to see how you did. Sales and marketing is the next category that I encourage you to look at. Just kind of going back and looking at those strategies, looking at those marketing channels, just doing a full blown assessment of that is going to be extremely helpful, especially as you prepare for planning, and then the last area is professional development and team growth. So this could be if you already have a team, going back and doing some evaluations on the team, understanding how productive they were, what value they brought to the team, how is their morale. Same thing with your professional development. Did you focus on the areas that you wanted to focus on? Are there any workshops and courses that you have purchased that you haven't completed? And is there time to get them completed by the end of the year? Is there any training that you want for your team members? Anything that you want them to get completed by the end of the year? Just kind of looking at your business from a holistic view and seeing, is there anything that I need to close up, tie up, button up for the end of the year, and doing a full-blown assessment of how I did in each of those areas. And that is going to be extremely helpful as you get ready to start planning your next year and doing your goal setting.